Are you ready to take your personal growth to the next level at a rapid rate? We're going to show you in this video the one tip and trick that we use to take our personal growth to the next level and do it with ease and grace, where you don't have to make it hard and you can actually go really quickly by shortcutting with this one simple trick. So if you're someone who's going through that self-discovery and personal growth and starting to discover who they are and tap into their talents, then stick around for this video, because we're going to share that one trick that we use to take our self growth and personal to the next level. I'm Brit and this is Chris Carmichael, and we are the founders of The Elevated Life, and we are here to teach you these simple mindset shifts to create radical transformation in your life. So if you're here live with us now, say hello and where are you watching from. Thank you for tuning in. Hey Vicky, hey Julia, so good to see you guys. Oh, I love this topic. This is such a fun one.
Yeah, people are always asking us for shortcuts. Like, hey, how do you do things faster? How do you do things better?
That's what the elevated life is.
Yeah,
is all of our shortcuts and secrets and wisdom on how we transformed all of the areas in our life.
Yeah, and truthfully, we always think that knowledge is power, and that's not true at all. Knowledge is always potential power. Like the strategies behind things and how to actually implement them into your life. We've all read great books and then went back to our lives and didn't make any changes. And so the question is always, how do we actually make changes? Like, how is that possible? And how can you facilitate an environment where change happens naturally? Because so many people try so hard at things. And the truth about it is there's almost always some kind of an easier way. And often it's finding someone who's already done the exact same thing that you're wanting to do. Last week, we talked about money growth mindset, and one of the ways to do that is to get around people who have accumulated wealth. And I don't necessarily mean just riches, but people who have accumulated that kind of wealth, who are on a way of increase. So always being around, always getting into a group where you can find that commonality is one of the true secrets.
Yeah, and this is the fastest way to take your personal growth to the next level, because here's the thing. It's called personal growth because only you can do it. But when you surround yourself with a community of people who have already elevated their mindset or are maybe going through that same transformation you are, it makes it so much easier to move through that personal growth and understanding of who you are and what lessons you're taking away, because you have that reflection in someone else. And when you surround yourself with a community of like-minded people who all have a similar mission, who are all trying to accomplish the same thing, they're all trying to be the best versions of themselves, it really helps you to see that better version of you because they act as a reflection.
Yeah, one of Napoleon Hill's big tips in Think and Grow Rich, which if you haven't read, that should be your weekend homework, is to read that book. If you have a spouse, a partner, or a kid, read it with them too. That way you knock out
If you want to
birds.
make more money, read this damn book.
True. If you want to manifest literally means taking your thoughts and turning them into reality. Anyone with a dream or anyone with a passion, that's obviously what you want to do. So you've got to get behind these ideas. And one of the big ideas is they're a mastermind. And it's people getting together in cooperation and mind and body in a harmonious way for a definite purpose, right? That's what a mastermind is. So think about it. If you've got one or two people, you can spit fire ideas, it's really great. But if you have like 5 or 10 people, imagine like being able to community with someone who you can talk to about what your dreams are, and they'll sit there and brainstorm it with you. Like, how much faster would you be able to go? There's a quote, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. And the truth about it is any kind of real dream, it's going to be far. It's going to be a marathon. None of this stuff is a sprint. So having those other people, being surrounded by people doing the same things that you want to do with the same kind of values that you have, and letting them inspire you and come up with those answers that you couldn't necessarily have thought of because you don't have the same experiences they do. We always come up with thoughts based on what our experiences are, based on what our life lessons have been. And so those people are going to be able to see new things that you could have never seen by yourself. And in that way, it is one big mastermind. This community aspect, I missed out on this for so many years. I thought I could definitely just paddle my own canoe. And sometimes you have to do that. But if you can get around those kind of people, your growth happens so much faster, and it's so much easier because it's not just you.
Speaking of going far together, we always invest in our growth. And one of our favorite things to do is go to seminars and workshops. We have attended Brendan Burchard's Experts Academy, High Performance Academy, so many different experiences that he's put on in person, these like 4-day events. And they really have been huge turning points. And, we always come back a different person with more clarity and focus on who we are, what our mission is, and who we're here to serve. And one thing that has really come to, that I didn't know that we would take away from this, is that the people that we've surrounded ourselves with, the events, people that we sat next to, we are still friends with today. We've gone and stayed in their home in a different state. We've supported the launch of their books. They've supported the launch of our Elevated Life membership. Like, it's so beautiful to know that when you put your minds together and you invest in yourself and your growth, and you do that with other people, that not only you believe in your dream, that you have a support team, like a soul squad, that also wants to see you accomplish those dreams and realize vision. And when you do it, they're there every step of the way, supporting you when you don't want to do it, when you're procrastinating. They're there to celebrate you on the other side of your successes. So it's really cool to know that when you show up to these communities or these masterminds or retreats, like I'm launching my retreat today, by the way, these goddess retreats, the gatherings that I do every full moon. Happy new moon, by the way. It's all about setting intentions and manifesting. So we really thought that the moon couldn't have fallen on a better Friday to talk about this conversation about up-leveling yourself, manifesting more in your life, surrounding yourself with community so that they can support your visions and dreams. Because like Chris said, when two people think about an idea and mastermind together, ideas start to happen. But when multiple people come together, like 15 are invited to my goddess retreat in Destin next February, it's really incredible to see what kind of magic you can co-create together. And when 15 people hold that vision together, woo, does it get done, and does it get done quickly? Because so many people are putting that energy towards making those dreams come true, rather than one person putting in the self-doubt and the fear that is stopping that manifestation of that dream.
Yeah, I love how powerful this can be. And, this is one of the reasons why I like retreats and being able to spread yourself over different communities. There's online communities you can join. There's plenty of Facebook groups. There's beautiful things.
Shrine Tribe Sisterhood.
There's beautiful things Brit's doing with women online. I mean, you've got to get into one of those communities just as soon as possible. Like, being able to have that connection is incredible.
And the elevators, our community of elevators inside our membership club, the level of the high vibing level in there is like, you just open up the Facebook group to just like take your daily dose of motivation, and you're like, wow, like, okay, people are on it, and people are struggling just like me. So it's nice to know that when we do struggle, when we do need that motivation, we have a community to turn to and say, you know what, today is not the best day for me. I need a little motivation and support. And a lot of the times we encourage you to just take a break, just rest. And sometimes you need that kind of tribe too, that gives you permission to fucking chill out.
Yeah, it's so great being parts of online communities, but there is so much magic that ends up happening when you get in person. It's something that's so different. When we went to the seminar, I was really pumped about what we were going to learn at the seminar. I was like, this is going to be great. There's some of the best business minds getting together and talking about business. And I was like, I'm really going to learn. And that's not what I took away. I really thought that would be the takeaway, but it wasn't. The takeaway is the people that I met. I didn't know that, over a 3 or 4 day period, especially if you go to a person who has a good seminar, and like Brit mentioned, Brendan does excellent seminars. If you've never been to a seminar before, go get out to one of these. It's so beautiful, the connections that you build. You're with total strangers, but they totally believe in your mission more than anyone else has in your whole life. And you're standing there like, holy smokes, people are passionate about this. People are interested in these kind of things. And it starts to change your mind a little bit, because we're so limited by the people that we're around, or the city that we're in, or the job that we're in, or the school that we belong to, or all those kind of little bitty factors that we've added into our life, and breaking out of that mold and realizing that other people in other places have other ideas. And there are people out there like you who do have those same kind of visions if you haven't met them local. So once you start getting to meet in person, it's so great to go to a local place or go to a retreat, because they're so immersive. It's a little different than a workshop or a seminar, because
you get to like slumber party together.
Yes, because it's in a relaxed environment. When you go to a seminar, it's a whip. I mean, it's like 4 days or 5 days of you just being under bright seminar lights and someone talking to you for a full 12 hours, and you're hungry and you're cold and you're like, is this ever going to end?
It's not as inclusive.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's harder to take away the stuff that you learn there. And that's why the people that you meet there are so important. So if you can get out, if you can figure out a way to get with a community, we have online one, communities. We have ones happening in person. If you're local to Frisco, we have stuff going on there too. Yeah. But find your community. Find those people who will believe in you and lift you up, because that is a lot of times the missing piece. Because if you don't believe in yourself, it's going to be a problem as to what you can accomplish. But when you have other people believing in you, sometimes that's enough spark for you to start to believe. In other words, they light your candle with theirs. And it just becomes this massive conglomerate of people doing great things together. And I really believe that's what's going to help lift up the planet. You know, we need more positive people doing positive things. And if you feel like you've been missing out on that, I mean, this is the new millennium. You can get online and do stuff. You can get around people. If they're not in your local community, they're out here. We're out here. You know, make sure you're surrounding yourself with people. That is the biggest and fastest way for you to accelerate your growth. Getting around the right mindset will totally change everything for you.
Yeah, people who believe in your dreams will help you to believe in your dreams when you're doubting, because doubts come up when you are starting to head down a new adventure, one that's intuitively led and inspired by your soul. That's like, hey, why don't you, try this thing, and express your talent in this new way. It can be scary. So we understand that fear and doubts come up. So we wanted to create a sacred space for you to come to where you can feel supported and celebrated through those doubts, so that we can up-level your confidence and your mindset, so that when you do go home, this is what's great about the retreats, or seminars or workshops or anything in person, when you do go home, you actually have the tools necessary so that you can implement those changes and make sure that you keep those healthy habits with you throughout the course of your life. It's like what you learn in seminars and things, if you go to good ones, by the way, what you learn are these takeaway tools that help you and change your life forever. So it's not just like Chris said, you go to get the learning and these cool tools that will change your life, but it's the connections that are most important. In a longevity study, they showed that people that are living to the oldest ages, the healthiest ages, aren't people that are drinking green juice and doing yoga. I mean, we're still doing that.
Green juice.
Feels good. But what they showed is that it's your relationships and connections. So make sure that you're surrounding yourself. They say that you're a makeup of the 5 closest people that you surround yourself with. Give yourself permission to do an inventory. Look around. Who are you spending time with? Is it serving you? Is it positively inspiring your growth? Is it draining you? Is it holding you back? Take time to assess your inner circle and call out and ask for new people to fill those spaces as you let go of those toxic relationships that no longer positively serve you. They will be there to support you, and they are also out there calling for you too. So open up to receive your new community and that support system. Whether you're hanging out in the Shine Tribe with me or you're an Elevator Insider Club, we love support you no matter what. Wherever you're at on your journey, know that you're not alone, that this doesn't have to be hard or scary. It can actually be a fun process, and you don't have to do the self-discovery journey all by yourself.
So true.
Oh my gosh. Okay, any questions that have come up for you today? We love joining you here on the Elevated Life every Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. It is so fun to share our life with you, share our insights, what's going on in our world. Today is a new moon, so make sure you keep your thoughts positive. And, it takes 6 months to typically manifest these seeds. So guess what's happening in 6 months? The Destined Goddess Retreat. So if you're someone who is like, I want to surround myself with an inclusive immersion experience, then this is the time to start planting the seeds now. The Shine Tribe retreat page is live for you to view details. So if you're someone who's like, hell yes, sign me up. I want to commit to finding my community, up-leveling my growth, and I'm ready for that change and transformation, and I want to do it in paradise, you can go to brittanycarmichael.com/retreat to find out all the details. How do you deal with self-doubt? Okay, so when self-doubt comes up, what does it sound like for you? I think the most important thing is to create awareness around what that sounds like. For me, my self-doubt was, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat. It was constantly on repeat. So once I created that awareness around that self-doubt, I was able to start challenging it. Every time I heard that self-doubt, I would say cancel, and I would say something more positive and loving about myself. So let's say your self-doubt is like, well, I'm afraid that I'll fail. Okay, next time you hear it, say cancel, and say, okay, I recognize that. But what if I were to succeed, and what great things could possibly come from that, and you redirect your energy on something positive.
Well, a lot of times self-doubt comes from our self-image. So what we do when we doubt ourselves is basically we have something that we want to accomplish, and then we picture ourselves failing at it, and then we say, I doubt that I can do this. Well, you just pictured yourself failing, so your mind's not really prepped to do it correctly. What you have to do is either, number one, change your self-image. So you imagine yourself in a way that can do that, or you can continuously train your mind to be better at everything. In other words, you picture yourself doing the best thing in the best way possible and having all the information that you need at the right time. And eventually that self-doubt goes away because you've spent so much time practicing watching yourself succeed. Eventually those old neural paths that go, they'll fade away. You know, once you start to add on to what the future should look like and what you want the future to look like, you'll get into a place where you don't need to really practice it anymore. It will just come natural, and you'll replace all the self-doubt because you've watched yourself succeed. It's an easy process, but you have to do it continuously, because if you haven't practiced that, it's going to seem weird the first few times. Imagine yourself being successful. Sit there, close your eyes, and picture yourself doing whatever you have self-doubts about successfully, and do it until it internalizes, until you've made a concrete blueprint your mind can find and say, oh my gosh, that's what they've been wanting me to do this whole time. Well, I'll do that instead of just failing, you know? So it will replace the old programs.
Yeah, habits of the mind, they said.
Yeah.
Great question. Someone asked, where will the retreat be? So the first retreat will be in Destin, Florida. It'll happen on February 20th, 2020. And guess what? We'll end on, so isn't that so magical? Today is the launch. I couldn't help myself but be like all astrological and magical about it, because that's what this retreat is going to offer, a very magical and transformative experience. So it's happening in Destin, Florida, next February 20th. And it ends on the 23rd on the new moon in Pisces. I'm so excited, all about intuition and tapping into your inner voice. So you're going to walk away feeling so clear and confident in your own intuition. I'm going to share my tools and tricks, and you're going to have like an insider look to like what my lifestyle looks like, because retreats aren't like, let's just show up in our pretty outfits and like be perfect and show off. No, like you're gonna see me with my hair up in a ponytail, like no makeup on, dirty, stinky morning breath in my PJs, like reading my tarot first thing in the morning, practicing my yoga, doing my morning meditations, because that is a part of my daily life, and I want to share those tools with you as well, so that when you leave the retreat, you actually have rituals and habits, positive habits. See, we've got bad mind habits. We can make good ones if we can make bad ones, right? And that's what I'm going to teach you to do, is recreate all of those habits so that they're positive serving you and filling your cup. Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. So I'm going to be sharing more details about the Shine Tribe retreat inside my private Facebook group, Shine Tribe Sisterhood. So if you're not there, be sure to come hang out with me, because I'll be going live later to share more details on how you can join me there. You can also check out the website, brittanycarmichael.com/retreat for more info. I am just so pumped. We are just so thankful for our community here of elevators. Thank you so much for tuning in every Friday. Someone who would love this message, please tag them below, share the video, please spread the good vibes, because we appreciate the good karma. Good vibes all the way. I just noticed your shirt.
Bingo.
I love it. So we're sending you good vibes all the way. Thank you so much for being an awesome support team. We love you so much, and we cannot wait to catch you next week. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, shoot us a message, or leave a comment below. We love hearing from you, and if you have any topics you'd like us to cover here on the Elevated Life series, just let us know, and we'll be sure to cover it. Peace.